Hello my friends, welcome to another exciting episode in our Photoshop design series. In this video I'll be showing you how I created this church flyer inside of Photoshop, of course with easy steps. If you're not subscribed to my channel, now is the best time to do that. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notifications so you miss any videos I'll be dropping anytime from now. Without having to say much, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is go over to file, click on new, and over here this is where you input the name. So I'm just going to put church flyer like this, and of course my width and my height stays 5 by 5 inches please, resolution 300, RGB, transparent, then click create. Okay, so you are greeted with this interface, right? So before we get started, two things I want to point out. My foreground color, double click on this. This is the color code, right? Input and click OK. My background color, double click on this. This is the color code, so you can copy and use them, right? Because this is mostly what we'll be working with inside of design. So the first thing I want to do is go over to my resource file. Again, the link to download this resource is in the description of this video, so do well to click, and it takes you to the page where you can download it, right? You get these images from the community actually, right? So I'm just going to resize this and click enter. Now if you're not able to scroll with your mouse, this is what you should do. So come under edit and scroll down to where you have preferences, then click on general. So under general, inside of preferences, click on, let's see, not here, I'm guessing it's tools actually, or workspace. No, let's click on tools. Okay, yes, inside preferences click on tools and make sure this is check marked, zoom with scroll wheel. If you don't have that check marked, you will not be able to zoom in your scroll wheel. So this is what I did, so I can now zoom in and zoom out with my scroll wheel, right? Easy peasy, make life easy. So click on camera raw filter. We need to make this image pop. I'm going to just add this setting, so follow my settings for this. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, we have changes. I'm going to go in and bring in the second image, which is this image here, right? I'm just going to drag it down here while I make it bigger. Increase from the edges like this. This is what you should have, just a little bit, and click enter. So I want to get rid of these edges, so what do? Click on the mask and go over to your brush. Make sure you are using the soft brush please, very important. Click on the mask and make sure your foreground color is set to black, and make sure you turn off cap locks, right? And remove the edges like this. Okay, I'm just going to move this downwards a bit, and okay, so you can see that the colors are not really matching as of this moment, but we'll get to that shortly. So let's move on with the next things we need to do. Should we do color balance? No, so I'm deleting it. We're doing something else first. So go over to where you have gradients and apply this gradient to it. Make sure your foreground is set to that dark blue there. Manually use your mouse to move this upward like this while you are still inside the gradient field, right? Make sure you're still inside here. Copy my settings, click OK. But now the gradient isn't giving us what we want because it's overshadowing every other thing here. So what you want to do is select your brush, go over to your mask like this, and reveal these areas, make them brighter like this. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's do some other things now. Okay, so this has been adjusted. Let's move over to the next thing. So create, click on this. Let's see. Okay, click on this adjustment layer, and this time we're going to select color balance. So let's color balance the whole image now. So the first thing I'm going to be working on is midtones, so just follow my settings for all of this. Shadows, of course, will always tilt towards the blue, and just add a little bit of cyan to this because it's related to water. And yeah, and for the highlights, move over to this region here like this. Okay, so the next thing to do is click on curves. This time I'm going to do like an S shape, S for sheep, just a little bit like this, not too obvious. And yeah, put this one here. Okay, so create a new layer. I'm just going to use a white color, so I'm going to go up here and select white. So you can just do this manually like this and click OK. Okay, so select the brush. Okay, so zoom out. No, this is too small. Ctrl Z when you make a mistake. Make the brush size bigger like this, and yes, create a light source here. This is exactly what I want created. Okay, so let's go over to my text, and I'm going to type exactly what I want to use and arrange them before I tell you how to edit these things. Okay, so I'm just going to use my text tool to type out what I need to use here. This is basically what I am doing here. So I'm going to make a duplicate copy, Ctrl J, and bring this down. I'm going to use the font that I use for this, and voila, this is the font. Yeah, the semi bold. Ctrl T, and I'm going to make it bigger, just like this, and bring it down like this. Okay, so I had to speed that up to save us some time. So now that that's out of the way, what you should do at this point, I'm going to make this okay, yeah, make it that value so that the spaces are not too much. Good. So I'm going to also make adjustment to the water too. First I'm going to change the blend mode for this to overlay, and also okay, set it to overlay too. Okay, so now straight to the other part of this design. So select the Sunday, right? There's a nice blend, but let's make it more realistic. Convert to smart object like this by right clicking, and go over to filter and liquify. Yeah, that's the option. So it brings out this interface. The first thing to do, make sure you're selecting this, right? Then you can go increase size of your brush with your bracket key and gradually do things like this. Okay, so this is how you create this kind of effect. So it seems as though it's perfectly seated inside the water. So selecting the water, I might choose to want to change the color to something lighter. Maybe this light like this. You can change it, anyone that works best for you. Just make sure that it's visible. That's the essence. It's not about the aesthetics but the visibility. So at this point now, I'm just going to go into my source file and bring in the text that I typed out, which is this one here, like this. I'm just going to drag and drop like this. So it's just going to have like this, and yes, this way. So so we don't spend too much time. I took our time to type these things out, so you can do well to arrange yours this way too, and yes, you're good to go. Okay, make a snapshot of the layer, Ctrl Shift Alt and E like this, and go over to camera raw like this, and what you want to do is increase temperature like this, not too much, and add some blacks to it, and add some shadows also to it like this, and you can add some clarity, but it's not, and add some DAs to it like this. Add some DAs, and reduce the highlights, and increase the contrast like this. Okay, so click OK like this when you're done. Okay, so you can see that there's a huge shift from how it was before and how it is now, right? So this is what you have now. Alright guys, if you've liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video.